society is how it treats its women and girls. It's women and girls. We create the smart, powerful, creative, accomplished young women. We can fight. I'm here because of you. I'm here because girls like you inspire me. Many of these girls have faced unthinkable obstacles just to attend school. Any society is how it treats its women and girls. One step still. Your story is my story. Your story is my story. Won't be shamed.
Buckle up, buttercups. It's another episode of Surly Voices here on WMNF Tampa 88.5. My co-hosts Maria and Donna are joining me by Zoom, and we are in the final stretch of the Giving Challenge, and this is when collective impact really happens. Every gift from $25 to $100 is matched dollar for dollar by the Patterson Foundation. If listeners across our community step up together this morning, we can generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for WMNF. Give now at WMNF.org before the match ends at noon. So, we got a lot to talk about today. Maria, how are you this morning?
Liz?
Sorry, I missed that first part.
I said I'm well. How are you, Liz?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
I'm still getting caffeinated,
yes,
but I'm here.
I'm partially caffeinated, so there will be glitches from time to time. Donna, how are you doing?
Listen, I'm just holding on over here. Don't mind me.
It's incredible to me, the things that are going on, but...
Like, it's only been a week.
I know.
And it's like it started the minute we signed off last Thursday.
It did, yeah. It's unbelievable. If you guys want to join the conversation, 813-239-9663, or you can email to dj@wmnf.org. Or you can also, while you're listening or calling, you can go to the donate button on WMNF and get in on this one-to-one challenge. $25 to $100 will help us immensely in getting funding. So where should we start? Where do you even start? It's like, let's talk about Trump posting a meme of himself in a long flowing white robe with a red sash, putting his hand on the head of somebody that looked like Jeffrey Epstein, but he probably didn't mean it to, or maybe he did. I don't know.
Makes no sense.
Do you think anything's ever an accident with him?
No, I think he says things sometimes that he doesn't think about saying first, because it seems like he like gives away his inner thoughts too much, and so the inner thoughts are what get him in trouble. So anyway, he's got this Jesus, and he's got his hands have lights in them, like Jesus pictures do. Holy cow! That started an uproar on the internet immediately. The meme gods are giving and continue to give so many memes about this. It's ridiculous. So then he, feeling the heat from his actions, he takes a question from a reporter and he's like, "Oh yeah, I posted that. Yeah. No, I don't. Jesus, what are you talking about? I was a doctor with the Red Cross." And it's like, how stupid do you think people are? It's like, there's no, but you know what? You go in the comments to any of these memes and there are the MAGAs and they're like, "Don't be silly. That's not cheap." And it's like, okay, so in other words, this man could do any single thing in the whole wide world and you would find an excuse for it. So it's beyond the pale. And now he's at war with the Pope. Who saw that come? Well, yeah. So it's like, and the Pope is like, "Nah, no. I know which side I'm on. Thank you. Bye."
I thought it was hilarious that someone said, the Pope is from the South Side of Chicago.
Right. It's like, yeah.
That's all you needed to say.
Is that the song? Was Bad Bad Leroy Brown from the South Side of Chicago? I think so.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
One of the Beastie Boys and said that Vance probably should try it.
Frank is saying yes, and Frank knows old school music, so I think I'm right on that. South Side of Chicago.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I personally am enjoying, as you know, because I do send you guys, I share.
Yes.
I personally am enjoying the Iranian Lego reels.
Such
beyond. First of all, can I just say the music tied to these reels is fire. It just really is.
It's like, people who think that Iranians are not sophisticated, people, I think, imagine Iranians living in huts and stuff like that and having no infrastructure or anything. These are the best videos ever. And it's the Lego videos. All you have to do is go and Google Iranian Lego videos and you will find stuff to keep you occupied all day long. And they are accurate. They are an accurate depiction of what's going on instead of this propaganda that the White House keeps putting out. I don't believe anything that this administration says. So it's like I go offshore from my news. I go to Al Jazeera. I go to BBC. Anything that's offshore is what I'm looking at because the Trump's inner circle is soft selling the whole thing to him. They put together reels every day of things going boom, and he is emboldened every time they do it. And so, and Hegseth needs to be under the jail because he is just a reprehensible person. He really is. Let me play a promo for the Giving Challenge, and then we'll start talking again.
MNF. The Giving Challenge ends at noon today, and every gift from $25 to $100 is still being matched dollar for dollar by the Patterson Foundation. Don't miss this 24-hour opportunity to strengthen independent community radio. Give now at WMNF.org.
All right. So, what else is on our menu today?
I think, there's so much. Last weekend, I was in New Orleans for the Democratic National Committee meeting, which I thought was interesting.
You should have gone up and seen my dad.
But that's why I knew where, the two people that we were talking about had gone to see your dad. It's because I just was with them when we were breaking up, she was saying that they were going to Baton Rouge right? But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Disappointing, but interesting.
They need to hire the folks that are doing the Iranian Lego videos
Well, I mean,
to do messaging.
I mean, certain things were interesting. My personal pick to replace John Fetterman for the U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania is Summer Lee. I love Summer Lee. Malcolm Kenyatta ran as a primary opponent against John Fetterman. And though he would have been a much better pick than Fetterman, I was disappointed in his statement at the, because there was, I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but there was a protest at the general session executive committee session where people wanted to know about the autopsy report, right? And so several people were removed because they were shouting, "Show us the autopsy, show us the autopsy," and things like that. What are you trying to hide? The next day, Malcolm Kenyatta was like, "Oh, we don't need to look back. We need to look forward," and stuff like that.
No.
My guy. Wrong message here.
That's the oppressor talking.
Like, we need to have like a real conversation about why, when we have this opportunity, we manage to grab defeat out of the jaws of victory.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. I thought there were some good things, but I thought it was really, really interesting that it was days before Eric Swalwell decided to resign from his campaign as well as from Congress. And I was like, well, look at that. Just a couple of reports here and there, and we can come together and indict a situation and remove a person, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to war crimes, we can't manage to muster up that same kind of energy to say anything about a situation, right?
Right.
So, yes, I was struck by the contrast. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Other things I'd like to talk about is what is shaping up to be a very interesting mayor's race in Tampa.
Holy cow. Well, Builder Buddy Bob just officially jumped in with his millions of dollars from developers and special interest groups. So that, it's like, and I saw a commercial for another candidate, and it was a smooth diss because remember I was talking a few weeks ago about how they named that building on the Riverwalk Bob Buckhorn River Center. It shows a picture of that, and I busted out laughing. That was hilarious. So it's going to be a storm of competition down here. So,
well, I've been thinking lately a lot about the preposterousness of it all. And every time Donald Trump does something like what he did the other day, I don't like him less because I never liked him. Mm-hmm. I don't like the people who supported him less. I don't like them more. That's what I meant to say. Mm-hmm. So he's a constant. He's a fixed value. He's always been the way he is.
Right.
So how are these people consistently saying this is okay? Like, how I get one person being deluded, and self-absorbed and navel-gazing. I do not get millions of people. And now I look at times in the past where, Mussolini made more sense because he came in under the guise of being, journalist turned organizer turned politician, right? And he sold a bill of goods. People bought it, and then he, felt powerful. He bait and switched, right? I understand that. Hitler did the same thing, right? He says, this is going to be, the reinvigoration of the Teutonic myth of the invincible, person of German heritage. And people bought it. And then it got out of control. And a lot of the things that he was doing wasn't known to the population.
Right.
And then by the time they were in it deep, people had been brainwashed. And it was that whole Harvard experiment where, you get someone to electrocute somebody and at first they're horrified and then they enjoy it. They become sadistic. So Trump did the same thing. He sold us a bill of goods. It's going to make America great again. We haven't seen that yet. America is in worse shape than it's probably ever been in its history. The division internally, people going after people who are just minding their business and eating their sandwich at lunch.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you can't be this. You can't have this on your driver's license. Like literally mind the business of the state, which is not to regulate personal choice. And so, again, when I see these things happening, when I see someone like Pete Hegseth, when I see those Florshams that Rubio is wearing.
Or the Florshimes that are wearing him.
I had to get that in there for some comic relief, right? When I see little Marco in those big shoes, this has gotten out of hand. Has anybody seen this? Somebody come and look at this. This is wild. And I stopped watching the news.
Well, yeah, because number one, the news is not holding them to account.
Nope.
None of the news in America is.
Nope.
And that's why the Lego video, that's one of the reasons I think why the Lego videos have gained popularity so quickly is because it's
because they're funny and we love Legos.
Yes.
And we love stories and we love music,
yes.
especially that type of music.
Yes.
And all of those things together mean magic.
Exactly.
Say less, right? And it's helping younger people understand what's happening. And it is helping older people find the humor in young people's way of viewing the world. And what could be better?
Right.
It's interesting to me that they have tapped into the American psyche.
Yes.
Right.
That they are able to, they know that Americans just want to be fed and entertained.
Yep.
And that we are not a society of critical thinkers, right? And they have managed to capitalize on that in ways that are just absolutely remarkable. And I'm impressed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. Right? Like,
they are top tier quality. Yeah. And I don't know how they make the music. How do you tell AI to make a song and then
do you think it's AI, or do you think that that language was like the creators created the language to a beat, right? Like,
well, AI will make a song for you. There's apps for that. So you can either tell AI to make a song and you can give it all the information like ChatGPT. I've done it.
Oh, okay.
I made a song about my son who wears his huge hair. So he wears a bonnet. So I made a Super Bonnet Man song for him, and I made characters, and it looks like him, and he was mad, but and then he liked it.
Don't tell us that, Donna, without sharing. I want to see
I
that.
will
send it.
I want to see it.
It has bad words in it, but I'll send it to you anyway. Well, anyway, you tell it what you want it to say. You could either write the song, or you can tell it to put it into a song version, and it will read it back to you. So you say, I want a country song about Donald Trump having an affair with Pamela Bondi. Ooh. And it will do it for you.
We'll have 5 versions of that by the time this show is over.
Yeah, or you could say something like, hey, remember Tom's Diner by Vega? You can say, make a song about make a song about Kristi Noem's husband.
Ooh.
And make it in the style of Tom's Diner. It's wild.
That's hilarious.
Jeez. We have a voicemail or a text that says, "Hey, Surleys, I had like 5 other things I intended to react to, but it's being reported that Judge Clarence Thomas is doing some propaganda too right now. It's something about progressives." Yeah, that's another one that needs to be under the jail. Oh my gosh, I didn't know all of Clarence Thomas, his history. I only knew like from Anita Hill onward. And then Donna told me about this show on PBS.
Yes, I saw it.
Oh,
there's a documentary, American Experience, I think it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was like, are you kidding me?
You guys, you have to see it. You have to, if you're listening and you haven't seen it yet, you must see it. It is absolutely amazing.
What is the name of it again?
So I can look it up.
Yeah.
It's a documentary on PBS.
Yeah. It is excellent, and you will come out walking along and saying, what happened here? David says, "Hi, ladies. Colbert had a funny comment recently. He said that if you were waking up from a coma and heard news about Trump claiming the AI pic was not showing him as Jesus, but as a doctor, the FEMA director, Greg Phillips, teleporting to a Waffle House, and Noem's husband doing some crazy cross-dressing and other kinky stuff, that you'd want to go back into the coma because Trumpland is so effed up and weird. We need to make sure that our children are aware that this is not normal and this is not acceptable." David, Mr. White Pep. Thanks, Mr. White Pep. And we got somebody coming on the telephone, but I don't see any description.
That documentary is on PBS. You can find it on YouTube. It's called it's a Frontline documentary called Clarence and Ginny Thomas, Politics, Power, and the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Maria.
Sure.
Let's see.
Should have been named the swamp did get drained.
Oh my gosh, the swamp got added to like exponentially. But
think about what slimy individual could be if Samuel Alito leaves the court, which is being rumored currently. Mm-hmm. And think about what type of swamp creature,
right,
could end up on the Supreme Court, like
Pam Bondi,
a 32-year-old.
Pam Bondi.
Yeah. Erica Kirk.
Yeah, Erica. Oh, did you see all that too?
Yeah.
In Athens.
That was delightful.
Yeah, in Athens, Georgia, which is where the University of Georgia is located, Turning Point had a meeting and nobody came, or very few people came. But there was J.D. Vance and no Erica Kirk to be seen because allegedly she had a security alert and her security team told her to stay home. Now, I don't believe that either, but there we are. So J.D. Vance took the opportunity to tell the Pope that he should be careful when he's talking about theology. It's like, what? The Pope has a doctorate in theology. What do you have? Like the 6 weeks plan? I mean,
he's the Pope. He's literally God's man. He's God's guy. Right here on earth. If you want to talk to God and you tell the Pope will tell God for you.
The Pope's got the direct line. Yeah.
Yeah. He don't even need no degree. He is literally God's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've been listening and thinking about giving, this is your moment. Last year, this community raised $230,000 in one day. We only need half, and every gift from $25 to $100 is matched, but we can't get there without you. Don't sit this one out. Go to WMNF.org and make your gift before time runs out. And welcome to Miss Sherry, who is our fundraising director extraordinaire. I don't think we've had you on the show before, Sherry.
No, you have not, actually. It's a rare occurrence that I come into the studio to talk. But I just wanted to come in and thank everybody who's given so far. We've had 403 donors during this giving challenge, and just a personal thank you to all of you. And we've raised so far $30,469.
Awesome.
Incredible. And then we've been matched so far. Our match is $27,369.
Oh, wow.
Folks, that is free money. And you did that. You got us $27,000 in free money. That's ecstatic about that. So our total so far is $57,063. The match opportunity is over at noon. So if you haven't given yet, please do. Even just a $25 donation collectively makes a very big impact. And then we're going to get $25 of free money with that. So
yay. So the giving ends at noon. So any donations coming in afternoon don't
they
count.
will not qualify for the match.
Okay, so we need to get on our internet right now, folks, and just drop whatever you can in there. It's got to be between 25 and 100. And I can
receive the match.
To receive the match. I see we've gotten a donation from Anonymous, who said, proud to support WMNF. Thank you so much. Carlo, 50. I don't know who 50 is, but thank you, 50. And Bob W. has supported. So, and another anonymous donation. So thank you guys so much. I know some of our listeners don't like to put their names because they, you're known by the company you keep. So,
well, if any of the listeners want to follow along and track that, you can. If you go to the website and you hit the donate button, when you scroll down just slightly, you can see who's given. You can see the total that we've raised so far and the donors. And then up in the upper right corner, there's something called leaderboard. You can see where we're placed. There's 733 or 35 nonprofits participating. Folks, this event only happens once every other year, so we're not going to get this opportunity again to have this match for another 2 years. And you can see where we place on the leaderboard. I think we're currently 47 out of 733 nonprofits. So if you enjoy that, you can watch in live time, basically, and see how we're doing.
Thanks so much, Sherry. We are excited about this, and hopefully we'll get folks jumping in like Rich in Brooksville, who just said he's done the match. Thank you, Rich. Let's see. We have another email. How about the Full Frontal documentary on Clarence Thomas? It's on HBO. Too racy for PBS, from Bubba. Bubba says, P.S. Thanks to all who donated to the Giving Challenge. Sherry is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So we have another one here. Good morning, ladies. Something possibly worth bringing up. What's with 47's use of the raised fist, which has historically been used to signify white supremacy? Also, one ever asked how America was ripped off by other nations and we needed tariffs to recover that money. Thank you, Rich. We'll get to that second in a question, Rich. Get to that question in a second. See, it's like the caffeine makes the brain go. All right. So let's get back to trashing, folks.
Can I stay for this?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Jump on in.
Just kidding.
So yeah, I'm excited to go look up the documentary that Bubba mentioned, because it's like the one on PBS was bad enough, because a lot of the things I knew, but some of them were brand new to me, and it's like, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. So, back to let's see. Souter was thinking about leaving the court. Is that where we were?
Souter?
No, maybe not. That's not where
We were talking about Clarence Thomas for a minute there.
Yes.
But I don't think he's going anywhere anytime, unless, what could happen is that someone makes him an offer like that he cannot refuse, like the Crows, and that he leaves. He understands the assignment, and he leaves before the midterms, or before the rules change. Quite frankly, he's not going to be like RBG,
right?
And stay well beyond their sell-by date.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember back then we were talking about how Biden should have packed the Supreme Court when he had the chance.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing about it is that Biden had more of a Trumpian FU attitude. Mm-hmm. I can see it happening, but he's an institutionalist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that I have to say, which I did not hear in New Orleans, quite frankly, is that it's all now broken, right? And that we can honestly look at what they've done, what MAGA has done to break everything. And I feel like we have a golden opportunity to create a government that actually works for us.
Right.
Right.
But the problem is, you got, like you say, the institutionalists and the status quo Joes, and they don't want to make a new system. They are happy with the one they have because it serves their needs. So that is...
Guys, we're going deeper in this place, and absolutely never was when this was supposed to be a more perfect union for real. If that was the case, then we wouldn't have the Electoral College.
True.
Like, the Democratic Party is literally an institution for institutionalists, right? Which is why they endorse Zionism and warmongering. These are liberals. This is liberalism, right?
Right.
And so if they weren't, they have to be all the way in they are the box. So I don't know that, we keep going to court, we get a win, and we get some losses, and then Dred Scott and Brown versus Board and the Civil Rights Act of 73 and 71, was it? Or there were two. And then, we get a couple of wins here and there. We've got some protected classes. We've managed to hang on to free speech. We've lost some monumental civil rights, like, speech is challenged.
Right.
It's challenged. It depends on whose mouth the speech is coming from, right? How much money they have. And now people buy speech. So if you look at everything that's happening in our society, this has literally never truly been a democracy. We've been trying to get there. We've been reaching for that brass ring. We've never held it. And if you say that we have, and if you say that we have the promise of it, there are entire swaths and groups of people in this country for whom that day has never come, and now may never come.
Right. Let's talk to DeAndre and Brandon. Hi, DeAndre.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Shirley, for addressing these issues. I was just looking up something. Well, a couple of words crossed my mind today, and one is trade, and then the other one is vocation. And I grew up with the term vocation. I didn't really look at it until today. Vocation is very much more community-oriented, right? It's an act of passion. The example I saw on the internet for trade involved liquor. And this is the language. This is the language that they use and prefer. Okay. Another thing I was toiling over a lot, actually, that's pretty much been a lot of my life. I digress on the life part, but just recently when it comes to the issue with the library book challenges, whether it's a school library or community library, they were challenging it. But, issues with textbooks are in the Epstein files, right? Or some documentation around him and his associates. And as far as for the dumbing down, this so-called dumbing down of the nation, if they wanted to, with as much communication technology they're engaged in and using, they could. They can put up fake events, including Black people denoting race, and get people to post that, make them react, and then, push the narrative in envelopes, okay? Mm-hmm. We saw that with gay marriage. They used trans bathroom conflicts to to stoke people. And then, while they're in that state of mind, then, they'll vote out anything resembling, their boogeyman. Mm-hmm. And they will hurt people to do it. They hurt Black people by not allowing textbooks to accurately communicate information to students. Okay, and being protective, I think we kind of lost sight. I'm gonna go. Y'all have a wonderful day. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I think we started that, Andre, with let's take down the statues of Confederate soldiers. We didn't have the second conversation, which was, what do we put in its place? And what stories do we tell? We could have just painted them all red and said, whenever you look at a red statue, you're looking at a bad man. and here is we're going to put this in bronze, what they did. Okay, the bad things that they did. Instead of telling of the glorious history of the victor, we tell the history of the conquered, because the conquered make up the population of this country. So we didn't do that. We said, we erase you. Now, they used to do that in Rome. There's a name for it, where once you fell out of favor, or a new emperor came into being, they would go around and erase you. Mm. And so when we do that, we forget history. We set the stage, and this is specifically for Andre, we set the stage for the retelling of enslavement. And now, we did that ourselves. It's the same way what happened with A4. When Neil Valls said that a person's fine is a part of their sentence. And that came back to haunt them when they said, okay, well, you're out of jail and you're off paper, but you still owe this money, and therefore you have not completed your sentence. Some people have hundreds of thousands of dollars. So sometimes
they don't even know about.
Right.
But they don't even know about. And that's what we call giving people bullets to shoot you with, right? I hate to use guns in America as any type of metaphor, but it's literally giving someone the weapon which they take you on. And so, and history is a superior weapon. Right. Because who can refute it? It's already happened. So
and the victors wrote the stories. Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody's reading Howard Zinn, right?
Right.
So I think that now that the revisionists are out in full force, and they're saying, okay, this is what you were saying in 2016, right? And I was never I remember how I used to blast people. I remember when we wanted that statue taken down over by the courthouse. Mm-hmm. Listen, honey, people didn't even know where that statue was. And when the night that they said, we're going to the statue, I was out in the streets that night, and people started running in different directions because they didn't know where the statue was. And we couldn't find money to pay a salary to anyone who worked for BLM. And yet, we were able to find almost $300,000 in 24 hours to move that statue. While people got evicted and lost their homes and sat in jail and became depressed and came out and committed suicide, the recidivism rates, we could have been paying cash bail with that money. We could have been saving families from eviction with that money. We could have been repairing family homes with that money. Elders putting in handicap ramps for elders with that money. But no, what did we do with that money? We could have been building organizations. But we moved a statue because the unseen hand that's where that came from. And if you look at the people who came in, we were having an organic uprising in this city. And someone came in who fit the description for who should be a leader. And all of a sudden, that money rolled out, all those hands opened up, all those checks got written, and that statue got moved. And that was the end of the movement.
I recall. Let me play the last promo.
Out to double your impact for WMNF. The Giving Challenge ends at noon today, and every gift from $25 to $100 is still being matched dollar for dollar by the Patterson Foundation. That means your support for independent community radio can go twice as far, but only for a few more hours. Donate now at WMNF.org.
Only for a few more minutes, because we're almost... Oh, no. God. Another...
And let me say, anyone that's listening and hasn't given yet, I just want to say something to you. A lot of you anonymous people like to turn on the radio and hear the things that we say, the good things, the bad things. We pour out our hearts sometimes. And we're able to speak freely because this asset exists. What I would suggest is that each and every one of you right now decide what you can give and take that to the limit and go ahead and pick up the phone and make that call. We're not taking donations.
Not on the phone. You have to do it on the
Only
internet.
online?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go to the website, WMNF.org. Go to the website. If those of you who have the app, if you have the app, you know you should have given already. Now I'm just going to try to chastise you a little bit because that means you're all the way in there. So pick up the phone. I'm going to do my donation before noon today. I'm all the way in Missouri, but WMNF is something that has grown and stretched me, and it's made me think. It's helped me evolve in my thinking. It's helped me to critique my own thinking and the thinking of others. It's just grown me as an intellectual and as a human being. And so I'm definitely going to contribute more than just my hundreds of hours of volunteer time, whether I'm in the state or outside of the state working for things like childcare or for someone that I believe in to win an elected office. So I need you guys to give. If you give $10, that becomes $20. If you give $50, that becomes $100. When was the last time your money actually grew while you were looking at it?
Not any time in the recent past.
$70 to fill up this gas tank the other day.
Holy
and I was just staring at the $70. It's a pretty big vehicle. It's a pretty big SUV. But you guys, please, today, could you give that, even if it means that I'll have to make up the difference later on in the year with our fund drive for the spring. I'm willing to do that if the money that you have earmarked for Surly Voices later this year. And I only say that because we could all be dead, actually. So it won't matter, man. A whole civilization could be gone overnight.
Everybody better get right, because it could come anytime.
But you might not even need that money. Just go ahead and pick up the phone and give it to us while it'll still buy $6 will still buy a loaf of bread. That's all I got.
Will it buy a loaf of bread?
$6? Some breads you won't get for $6 anymore.
Yeah. So,
artisan bread you will not be having.
Or like specialty bread.
My gluten-free bread, I have a gluten-free, it's a one carb and it's gluten-free. The bread that I eat is $11.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'd give up bread.
You're like, bread is over with, baby.
Lettuce wraps.
Nice knowing you.
You know, since I got here, everything is more expensive in Florida. Since I got here, I've been getting it at Deerberg's for $6.
Oh.
So it doesn't even have to be $11. That's just, and it's $6 in Minneapolis. It's only $11 in Tampa.
Oh, what?
It's not even $11 in New York City.
Speaking of which, I read an article the other day that said that in Florida, the cost of living has quintupled over the last 10 years.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I read it. So, I live here in Palm Beach County, and on the news yesterday was a guy who lived in his house in North Palm for 39 years. And his property tax bill is now $36,000 a year.
Ooh. What? That's obscene.
Correct.
Aren't property taxes going away?
Well, I hope so. I don't know I don't know. I can't say I hope so. But you got to wonder if you think about it, like New York is getting ready to tax any house, any residential property valued over $5 million that is a second home for people. They're getting ready to tax that in New York State.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
But we're not doing that here. No, I think that but we have to pay property taxes on what the perceived value of our homes is, as opposed to what we bought it for. So, like, you could live in your house for 39 years like this guy. You could have paid like $200,000 and you live there, right? Mm-hmm. But you're paying on what its perceived value is, as opposed to what you can afford, like what it was when you were able to afford to buy that home. So I don't know. It's just I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah. Like Donna said, like, we might not be here next year.
Right now.
That's right.
Listen, I'm ready. I got my tree. I go and see my tree named Chuck in the Botanical Gardens. I got my lemon butter that I'm putting on, my whipped lemon shea butter. So I walk around smelling like lemons. I'm getting stuff done to my face so I can look good when I sit in my Adirondack chair and the mushroom clouds coming to take me. I want to look good on my way out of here. And so I just decided that certain things aren't important. Apple News was not my friend because it gave me the blues.
Right.
And I just read just enough news to come on here and ramble on with you guys and hold forth and have fun, because I just don't really know where this is going. I feel like I'm in Germany circa 1930.
Right.
And stuff is a-roiling, and we don't know, round and around she goes, where she stops. No one knows.
And
it's like that song. It was a Bob Seger, The Other Day I Had a Dream. You know that song? Yeah.
I don't think so.
I saw it on Facebook the other day. Somebody posted it, Janet Gearson in New York, and she posted that. And it just it made me cry. And I don't like to cry, especially because I've been crying since 2013 when Trayvon Martin died. Mm-hmm. I started crying then, and I haven't had a break since. Y'all pick up that phone and go ahead and call that.
Nope.
Go online.
Get on your internet.
Go online. Go on that. Get on Beyonce's internet and Donald Trump's internet. Okay. And go ahead and send that money that you might not even need on over to this radio station, so that we can keep you laughing and keep you thinking and keep you dreaming and keep you hoping.
Thanks for that message, Donna, because we have been seeing things roll in since we've been on. We've gotten over 30 donors since we've been on. Yeah, so we really, really appreciate y'all. And please, tell your friends, tell everybody to hop on the internet and do the donation thing. Again, every dollar, it's matching dollar for dollar for between $25 and $100 donation. And if
you need help, donating, don't just say, oh, I got stuck on the online portion. Do still give Miss Julie a call at the radio station. So our Sherry, give Miss Sherry a call so that we can walk you through how to get that donation in before noon today. If you don't do it right now on this show, you have until noon. You have until noon to get that done. So let's just go ahead and do it, guys. $10 becomes $20. $100 becomes $200. Mm-hmm. That's a deal for us. This for our community.
200 becomes 400. I see some folks just donated $200. So
hey, and if you're really sporty and you got it like that with your bad self, you just go on and dig on deeper in there. You can do 500 becomes 1,000. 1,000 becomes 2. And if you really think we might not be here in a few months, just dump it all over there.
You ain't gonna need it anyway.
And dial WMNF with your bad self. Come on.
That is it. It's amazing to me the way certain people like to hang on to everything they've got and grift for more. Yeah. So it's like Trump didn't need to do any of this stuff. He saw a bunch of suckers sitting around and decided that he was going to fleece them. And
which suckers are we talking about?
The MAGAs. Are there other suckers too? Well, the people
the people who are letting Charlie Crist and David Jolly and Bob Buckhorn, I'm sure Florida's not the only place that it happens. This one's just in our face because it's right here at home. But right. I'm sure this kind of moved this wild swing to the far right, which means you literally end up where Republicans were 20 years ago. Is where the Democratic Party. I didn't come up with that. You can look at it and see it.
Right.
You bring up a really interesting concept. Also, there was a woman who used to be Mike Pence's chief of staff.
Yeah.
Who's now running as a Democrat for Congress in Virginia. And I'm like, how is it that these are the people that jump to the front of the line?
Yeah.
To represent us as Democrats? How did that happen?
And how are we accepting them?
Thank you.
Right. Well, it's the collective we. It's not the individual we, because now people are going to say, "Oh, I didn't do that." Yeah.
How is this okay?
It's not okay.
You got 2 Republicans running as Democrats for governor in the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. How is this okay?
That's why people need to be good consumers of information, because if this Pence assistant hadn't if you didn't know that already or hadn't been clued into it, she might look like a perfectly reasonable person, but in reality,
is she a perfectly reasonable person?
No,
because she was good with the Republican talking points and philosophy,
right,
until it could have landed her behind in jail.
There's too much opportunism in election politics.
I think they need to find a Democratic chair seat for MGT and bring her on back and recycle her.
Oh, Lord.
Because y'all having a love affair with this girl. Let it go. Frozen. Let it release it.
Let it go.
Send her back from which she came. All right, we'll have more structure next week, you guys. And we had to make sure that you guys got on the phone and gave us that money today. There's still time to call. You have until 12 o'clock today. If you don't get it in for this show, it's not like the fund drive. You have until noon. All of it goes to the stations. We don't need to get points for it. Just call before noon. If you're going to do it now so that you don't forget about it. Look up at 12:07 and you've lost the opportunity.
So thank you very much for listening to Surly Voices on WMNF Tampa 88.5.
Bye, guys.
I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they wanna